So, hi everyone, we are the group 4 and we're going to report our assigned topic, which is the layout of business letter. So, by the way, I am Jane Umandak Fernando. I'm the first reporter, and my assigned topic, which is the heading and the inside address. So, heading. The heading contains the return address, which the date on the last line. Sometimes it is necessary to include the line before the date with a phone number, fax number, or email address. So, heading. Heading is typically found in the upper left of a hand corner of the page and introduces you to the recipients and includes important contextual information such as your names, address, phone number, or email address. Then the inside address. So inside address is the recipient's address. It is always best to write to a specific individual at the firm to which you are writing. If you do not have the person's name, do some search by calling the company or speaking with the employees from the company. Include a personal title such as Miss, Mrs., Mr., or Doctor. So, inside address is the receiver's address. It is include the name of a person you are writing to, followed by the person's home address or by the person business title.
Hi everyone, good day. My name is Mike Jason Kirahel and I am the second reporter. I am going to tackle about the layout and the elements of a business letter, which is salutation and the body of the letter. So first is salutation. Salutation is a gesture or utterance made as a greeting or acknowledgement of another's arrival or departure. In a business letter, we can see a salutation in between the address and introduction. The definition of salutation is a greeting. An example of a salutation is when you write, "Dear Dean," at the top of a letter. An example of a salutation is when you say a formal hello to someone. The next is the body of the letter. The body of the letter contains the message. The body is made up of one or more paragraphs in which the main idea or the letter is relayed. The first paragraph of the body of the letter should include the reason for writing. Here we can see the body in a business letter. The general principles of communication applies. Say it clearly and sufficiently so that the reader will understand the message properly and quickly. Letters are normally single space with one blank line left between paragraph. That's all, thank you.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmate. I am Russell Cunyabarua, and my topic is complementary clause. The complementary clause is a short and polite remark that ends your letter. The clause begins at the same justification as your date and one line after the last body paragraph. Capitalize the first word of your closing, just like thank you, you're welcome, and etc. And leave 4 lines for signature. Between the clause and the sender's name, a comma should follow the closing. The signature line, skip at least 4 lines after the clause for your signature, and then type out the name to be signed. If you're printing this letter out and sending it by mail, you will sign your name and PIN. This line will include your first and last name, and often includes a middle initial. Although it is not required, you may put your title beforehand to show how you wish to be addressed. Example, Miss, Mrs., Doctor, etc. The signature should be in blue or black ink. That's all for today, and thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, classmates. My name is Francis Carl Albert U. De La Cruz. I am a member of the group 4 reporter. So my assigned topic is all about reference line and attention line in a business letter. So what is reference line? So a reference line refers to information requested by the recipient and may include specific project involved or identification number. So where do you put a reference line in a business letter? Here first, reference line typically appear after the letterhead above the date and on the left margin. How do you put a reference line in a letter? So legal letters should include a reference line or subject line so that the recipient know what the letter is about. Now, so let's proceed to my other topic. So it's attention line. So what is attention line? This is a line begins with attention of the end of a colon and ends with a colon and is placed flush with the left margin. It indicates the intended recipient within the organization when the letter is addressed. Where do you put a attention line in a business letter? So, should be the first line of the top of the mailing address. The second line is a company or organization where the piece of print is being sent, or applicable, the delivery mailing address goes on the next line, followed by the city, state, and zip code on the last line. So here's the example of a business letter. Where do you put the attention line, or how that is gonna put the attention line? So use it. Here's the sample of a business letter and it has an attention line. So that's all. Thank you, Ma'am Trina, and God bless.
I'm President Cadayona. My assigned topic is subject line and identification, notation, or reference initials. Subject line. Subject line is specifying the topic of the letter it included. Comes between the salutation and the body of the letter. The subject line of a letter must be short, specific, and placed between salutation and the body of a letter. You can write the subject line in uppercase or boldface. And if emphasis is required, it can be aligned center. The subject line of a letter helps the recipient understand what the letter is about. There are three common methods to distinguish the subject line from the body of the letter. First one is use subject or rate. The second one, type the subject in bold letters and type the subject in capital letters. I will show you the placement of subject line. We can see that subject line are between salutation and body. So that's the placement of subject line in business letter. Identification, notation, or reference initials. Reference initials are used as a way of recording who wrote, signed, and typed a document. Reference initials are used in most business letters, and they have many purposes. They are used as a way of recording of who wrote and typed a document. The initials offer a way for people to examine the problems regarding a letter that another company sent. If there is a misunderstanding during the document, they can find out the document that one person who wrote it and a different person typed the letter. Reference initials. These are written two spaces below the last line of the signature at the left-hand margin. The initials include the secretary and the typist. For example, GT and ST. GT, the secretary who wrote the letter, and ST, the typist who typed the letter. Thank you.
PostScript is a programming language that describes the appearance of a printed page. It was developed by Adobe in 1985 and has become an industry standard for printing and imaging. All major printers manufactured make printers that contains or can be loaded with PostScript software, which also runs on all major operating system platforms. A PostScript file can be identified by its PS suffix. 3 styles and forms of business letter. First is formal letter, informal letter, semi-formal letter. Formal letter. A formal letter is one written in a formal and ceremonious language and follow a certain stipulated format. Such letters are written for official purposes, senior, etc., and not to personal contact, friends, or family. Informal letter. Informal letter is a type of a letter you would write to someone you know. Example, a friend or family member, they're written in a style that is more friendly and familiar in comprehension to a formal letter, which follows strict rules about layout and style. Semi-formal letter. A semi-formal letter is a type of that is sent to someone you know, but do not share cordial relationship, but which require polite and respectful approach. Example, a school teacher, school principal, and etc. Full black or purely black style. Every component of the letter, heading, address, salutation, body salutation, signature, identification, enclosures, is aligned to the left also. First sentence of paragraph are not indented.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, classmates. I'm Precious Gift Sibilia Edcheck, and I am the leader of Group 4. And my topic is about PostScript. And the second one is all about the styles and forms of business letter, and we'll talk about the purely black, or let's just say the full black. My first topic is PostScript, or let's call it PS. It comes from the Latin word postscriptum, which literally means written after. A postscript is an additional thought added to letters and sometimes to other documents that comes after it has been completed. A postscript is useful if the writer wishes to emphasize some point in the letter, or if a point worthy of mention arises after the letter has been written. The PS is the most charming part of a letter. It's the wink you give as to walk away. But where does the postscript go in a business letter? A postscript is a passage at the end of a letter following the signature. It only makes sense in the context of a letter composed by a hand or on a typewriter to accommodate an afterthought when you have already finished your letter and don't want to retype or rewrite the whole letter again. So now, let's talk about the purely black or the full black format. In a full black business letter, every component of the letter, the heading, the address, salutation, body, signature, identification, enclosures, etc., is aligned to the left. Also, first sentences of the paragraphs are not indented. In this sample, you will see that There are 2 spaces between the address and the date, 3 spaces between the address and the salutation, 2 spaces between the salutation and the first body paragraph, 2 spaces between first, second, and third body paragraphs, 2 spaces between the body, the complementary clause, the signature line, identification, and enclosures. And that is all about my topics. Thank you for listening.
Good afternoon, everyone. So let me introduce myself. I am Alizaline Mutipal Condiada. My task for this afternoon is to discuss what is black style and semi-black style. So what is black style? Black style is typically used for business letter. In black format, the entire text is left aligned and single space. The exception to the single spacing is a double space between paragraphs instead of indents for paragraphs. So black style or black letter is a letter that is usually or commonly used for a business letter to reach towards key information quickly by scanning it easily. These techniques is used in important documents to highlight the key information so that no important information left behind while reading the documents. Format where all type content is aligned with the left margin and no indentation. A black letter often contains specific components. These include sender's name, address, phone, the recipient's name, the current date, a reference statement, the subject, and the main body. A semi-black style letter is a less formal version of black or full black letter with the differences being the sender's address, date, reference or attention line, and complementary closing. The signature lines are located direct center or slightly right of the center. So semi-black is similar to black but has a more informal appearance, and all elements are left aligned except for the beginning of each paragraph, which is indented 5 spaces. Paragraphs are separated by a double line space. So here are the some examples of a semi-black style letter. So what is the difference between black style and semi-black style? The difference between black style and semi-black style is that black or modified black format, each paragraph begins at the left margin. While semi-black format, the paragraphs are still left justified, but the first line of each paragraph is indented by one tab. So that's the end of my discussion. Thank you for listening. Have a good day and God bless.
Good morning everyone, my name is Jan Chico. My assigned topic is all about official style and cyclical. Official style, or also known as formal letter, a document professionally written for another company or business professional. They can be used when applying job, showing a complaint, expressing interest in a job position, or thanking someone. Example of a formal letter is a business letter or a resume. Also, thank you letter for thanking someone that helps you getting this job. Official style are often written using simple and direct sentence with a formal greetings and signature included. Type of making formal letter. First is recipient name, address. Second is greetings. Third is reason for writing. Fifth, fourth is providing information. Fifth is final statement. And sixth is closing of name. Second, name and address. You can use the name of the person that you're given this letter or address to her or him. In greetings, you can use their own name. For example, Mr. John Leon Smith. Then you can put a colon. Third, reason for writing. You can state the purpose of the letter in the first paragraph of the letter's body. Fourth is providing information or support the reason that you are writing in the first paragraph. Final statement or a closing statement. Closing of name, or you put your name that make this letter. Simplified style. Using the simplified style is the most useful at times when you don't have a recipient contact name, because the simplified style does not require a solution. You don't need a person's name. The simplified style or format does away with the needed formality while maintaining a professional approach.
When you don't know the recipient contact information, using the simplified style is the best option. You don't need the person name because the simplified style does not require a solution. The simplified format eliminates unnecessary formality while maintaining a professional manner.